Hey, Claudia. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm better today. Just been planning me and my whole family were together today for about a couple hours planning the funeral and looking at pictures, talking about stuff, talking about what we're gonna do for the funeral and stuff. Funeral's on Friday, on the 17th. 17th. So yeah. Hey, Joey. How you doing? So yeah, thanks, Joey. I appreciate it. So yeah, we all got together today to talk about the funeral arrangements, and we got pretty much half of it done today. So the other half has to get done on Monday when the place is all open and stuff. So just a few odds and ends, and everything should be okay. We didn't have like we didn't have a grave for him, but because it's like hard to get. But because he was like a 30-year honorable member of the Portuguese soccer club here, they have a grave for him. So that's less we have to pay. So I'm glad for that. So and that's where all his friends are buried too. All the friends that he had in the Portuguese club. Yeah, he was sick. He had since 2008 he had a stent put in his heart. Um, you know, um, he uh he had heart problems for a long time. He had like low diabetes. But he had a heart attack because when I went with him in July to the doctor told me, look, your dad's got a 30% heart left. So he's not gonna like be doing too much things. So in July, the doctor said that he wasn't gonna be, let's hope he's gonna be okay. But he lasted a good bit. He was 82 years old. He went 82 in September 23rd. So that's a long life. And he was suffering a lot in these last like couple. This year, he suffered a lot. He had gout a lot. Like I said, he had breathing problems and stuff. But we got some positive news that the football the football club he worked for here for 30 years. He was the secretary treasurer, and he's an honorable member. He's got like awards at home and stuff like that. So apparently they have a grave for all the members. So he's going to be put in a grave with all his friends. So that's the most positive thing we heard today, and it's less for us to pay for because to pay for a grave is like a lot of money, right? So it's free to bury him, but we have to buy the coffin and all the other stuff. My mom's really worried because she thinks that she was gonna have to pay for it, and she doesn't really have that much money and stuff. And but my sisters are gonna pay for it, and I told them if they need money to pay for shit, I'll pay for stuff too. So, but you see, nobody really asks me to pay for things because I do everything for my parents, right? Like today proved it when I was talking to my older sister and brother and my brother-in-law, and my nephew was there, the oldest. And they were like, "Oh, this, and this." I'm like, "No, it didn't go that way." I said it went this way. I remember everything. My brain's like a fucking computer, so I remember every little detail. So I told them about this, and my sister was like ignorant. She was like, "No, it didn't go that way." I'm like, "Woman, don't tell me." And then my mom butted in, and she was like, "Mark's right. It was that way." Oh, oh well, I thought it was that way. That's why I don't like my older siblings. They think they know everything. I was the closest to my dad, so and I told them I'm not. All I want to do is go to the funeral, go to the grave site, and go home. I'm not doing anything extra. I'm not doing anything at all. I I saw my dad dead yesterday, and that's all that. That's the worst thing. So I don't need to see more. And you guys don't see him like I do. I see him almost every other day. I see him at least 3 times a week. And I've been going there. I was the one who lived there the most and everything. So my dad depended on me a lot these last few years. So that's why nobody says nothing to me about anything to pay for anything or to, because I pay for pure shit. I pay for some of their bills. I do all the maintenance for the house for free. That's why my older sister and my brother would never ask, say to do anything because I'm the one who does everything. Hey Tanya, how you doing? Yeah, so that's the great news is he's got a free grave to go in, and I'm happy that that's less of an expense, and he gets to be buried with all his friends, and yeah. Today's been a better day because I got to see my mom and talk to my siblings, and then talk about my dad. And it's weird because my older siblings don't even have my dad on their phone, like a picture or a recent picture or a video or something. My phone is full of pictures of my dad, videos of me making fun of him, talking shit to him and stuff. I have my phone's like full of my parents and the videos, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Not even they don't even care about like their parents like that, you know. But I don't fucking care. I have a lot of memories of my mom and dad and my dad and stuff. So I'm just sad for my mom because she called her sister-in-law today, the only one she has left. She buried her brother last year, which was the last sibling she had. And then this year she's burying her husband. So my mom's been through a lot. I feel bad for her. I'm just like praying that she's gonna be okay, you know, because she has a tendency to fall and she doesn't drink enough water, and I know she ain't eating anything. But tomorrow I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna pressure her. I'm gonna make something for her to eat, and I'm gonna like make sure she has everything she needs, and I'm gonna force her to like drink water and to eat. She has to, you know. Today I ate for the first time since lunch yesterday. I had a burger on the I had breakfast and then I had a burger on the barbecue like about 2 hours ago. But you know, I'm okay though. I'm fine. Like I just because I'm different. I don't. I know he's gone, and it's gonna hurt every weekend when my team plays. When our team plays every weekend, he'll call me after the game. We're like, "Hey, you saw that goal? You saw this guy?" Da, da, da. So like Sunday was like the most active day for me and him. We were always he's seeing we've watched games together for years, and every Sunday we watch games together at his house. So that's what I'm gonna miss the most is our time on the weekends watching our team play. But the best thing that ever happened was our team won the championship this year and last year. So he got to see his team win the double championship, you know. And so it's like something he has never seen, and neither have I. So it was like good. So today we just planned the funeral and stuff, and talked about a lot of things. What we're gonna wear, where is he going? What's this? What's that? So it's cool. Oh, nice, Tanya. Hey, Marley, how you doing? Yeah, that's good, Tanya. Look like you had a productive day. My mom and dad, they were married for 58 years, almost 60 years. 58 years they were married. In June 20 something, I think it was. I think it's June 28th they got married 58 years ago. So this year made 58 years they were married, but they've known each other for 60 years. Like they were dating like 2 years before they got married. Okay, good, Tanya. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the prayers and stuff. But today was a productive day. We got my older sister invited us to go to her house, and at 1 o'clock today, and we all hung out there for like 3 hours, and we talked and we arranged the funeral and all the stuff, and we talked about a lot of we laughed and we had a good time. Watched saw old pictures and shit, and I got a little irritated here and there because my older sister, she talks like she always acts like she's more important than everybody else, and I felt like saying "shut up, bitch" like 20 times. I can't stand her. Like she's just so annoying. But my dad doesn't want me to argue with them or fuck them off, so I said I'll keep the peace for now. You know, sometimes you just gotta ignore stupid ass people. We all have siblings who's fucking dumb, so it's life. Hey Monique, how you doing? Yeah, they were together for a long time, Joey. Yeah, but it's cool though. I'm okay. Today is a lot better than yesterday because I got to see like all my siblings and talk about my dad for a while, and um, my nephew was there. He's the oldest one, and he said like, Uncle Mark, what's your favorite memory about your dad about dad about your about grandpa? I said, well, my favorite memory with him is Christmas time because Christmas time he's like the happiest person in the world because we're all together. We're all together. Like he gets to see his own children and he gets to see all six of his grandchildren. So he gets really, really happy, and that's my fondest memory is watching how happy he is to see everybody together. Because he's really big into family, and he loves family more than anything. Like so, Christmas time. This Christmas is gonna be kind of hard, for everybody because he's not gonna be there, and he always like he's the highlight of Christmas because he talks shit and then he falls asleep on the couch and then I videotape him and talk shit. So I always I always make fun of him and stuff. Like, not in a bad way, but like, funny shit way. Like, so this year is going to be hard without him. Cause he was like, he always told stories and shit. So, but I'm staying, positive because I know, because I'm a medium, I know that spirit is with me anyway. And I know he's here. I watched the game just now and I know he was watching it with me. So, and he's gonna watch the rest of the games with me too. So I'm not really like affected as much as I was yesterday, and seeing him, lying there dead on the ground is not good. I mean, it hurt a lot, and I couldn't do anything. So that's the only thing that bothers me. But at the end of the day, you know, I know he's here in spirit, and he came to me for like 5 minutes yesterday, right after he passed. So I knew he was gone anyway. But like I said, I'm not worried because I know he's having the time of his life right now. All of his friends that he saw pass away, he's with all of them. He's with his mom, he's with his dad, he's with his whole family. He gets to see everybody again. He gets to see his best friend. So I'm happy for him. And I know he'll be here every weekend watching the games with me, so it's all good. I can handle it. I gotta stay strong for everybody, especially my mom. But everybody was feeling good today. Everybody was nice. Everybody was okay today. It's just hard to process. That's all. I know a lot of people are gonna like say come to me and say, I knew you and your dad were close, but he's probably the closest person to me that ever passed away, so except for my dog. But he's took that number one spot now. But like I said, it's different for me because I know I have him in spirit. So it's a different ball game for me. I'm a totally different like person. Yeah, she does. She's been like staring at me because I've been very quiet. Like I haven't really. The reason I came on here is so I can like keep my mind off of everything. You know, when I come on here, I can say what I want and vent, and I have my real friends in here and people that are like family to me. So, and I know you guys have been through the same thing. So, we're having one that's coming across us right now as we speak. To be honest, it's a tropical storm. It didn't form into a hurricane, but there's a tropical storm here for the past 24 hours. It's coming across us right now. Well, not right now, but it is coming. It came across us earlier today, but it's very windy and it's been raining all day, and it's very, very windy. It's like not even 7 o'clock yet, and it's dark outside, like pitch black. So yeah, we got bad weather here for the last 2 days. Tomorrow it's supposed to get better, but speaking of Diamond, she's right below me here, and she's been snoring. But she's been looking at me, and she can kind of sense that I'm sad or whatever. But it's still it's only been 24 hours, so to me it hasn't really sunk in yet. It still hasn't sunk in yet. Like where I'm like I will realize that it's actually real. And I think that the next time I go to my mom's, it's probably gonna sink in there. But I know what he wants, and I know what he wants of me, and I'm gonna do it after the funeral on Friday. When I on Monday, the following Monday, I'm gonna make sure I do everything that he wanted me to do. He had a long list of things he wanted me to do at the house, and the weather, the hurricanes, and time and money was always in the way. So now, like, now that I have all the time I need, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hey Dan, how you doing, brother? She's not doing that great. She's still crying a lot. She's still not in a very good positive mindset. She's all messed up, man. She just lost her husband, so how can she be all right? But she I showed her some pictures of her and my dad and stuff that I took of them on the couch in the house and around the house working with me and stuff. So she just started crying and stuff. Hey Blue Nile, how you doing? Hey Barbie. So yeah, it's tough. I know a lot of people lose their parents, and here's my loss finally. My dad, he was in a lot of pain. He was sick. For this year is probably the worst I've ever seen him. So I know he's in a better place now. He never has to suffer again. So today when I was at my sister's and we were talking about him and talking about like what he wanted and what he liked, and I was the only one that really knew a lot about him and what he did. I was saying some things today that they didn't even know and they didn't even remember. Because I'm the only one who really spends time with my dad. See, because me and him were very, very close. Thanks, Bruno. Bruno says, hey, honey, instead of Joey. Spell check, you gotta love it, huh? You had your water lines blown and AC units pulled full for the winter. Okay, cool, Dan. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, my dad passed away yesterday, Bruno, from a heart attack. He was 82. He lived a great life. Looking at all the pictures and all the videos and stuff like that, he retired at 75. So he worked right up until he was 75, and then he said, "Fuck it, I'm not working no more." He couldn't. He started getting more and more sick, and so for the past 7 years, he's been home. He couldn't cut the grass. He couldn't do anything. I did everything for him. Like the last 7 years, I've done everything for my dad. Like cut the grass, the hedges, and paint the house, and anything that's broke. They all said today, yeah. Every time he had a problem, he'd call you. I said, "Yep." Soon as I saw my phone and it said "Dad," I was like, "Oh Lord, now what?" That's exactly what I would say. And I answer the phone. I'll be like, "Yeah, what's up? What happened?" Yes, hey, boy, I have a problem. I'm like, "Yeah, I know you always got a problem, but guess what? I'm not your problem." And he'll start giggling or whatever. He goes, "Hey, look, at the house, the door's making this noise, and I spray some oil on it, and then it still makes. I don't know what the hell is going on. When you get a chance, come down here and check it out." And I'll be like, "Fuck, man, this guy never leaves me alone, man." Like because when he got to the point where he couldn't do anything, it was mark this, mark that, mark this, mark come here, mark did that. I see, like I kind of resented him for a long time because like he didn't want me to go and start my own business. He never believed in me, and then he ended up becoming my number one client for free. So I at the end of the day, I did a lot for him, and he did a lot for me. He put me through a private school. He put me he clothed me, fed me for years, right up until I was 18. Taught me how to drive a car, a bike. He taught me a lot of things. I'm only into sports because of him. You know, he like all the sports teams that he loves. I love. He's the one who got me into sports. Um, you know, he worked 3 jobs every week. You know, he worked night and day. He did everything for us. So now he can rest finally. Oh, you had some Jehovah's Witnesses come by, Dan? Cool. Did you give him a lollipop? You should have told him Halloween's too early. Yeah, Blue Nile, I know his spirit is resting now, and I know he's very happy to be in spirit because he's no longer in pain and he's with all his friends and his family in spirit, and I know he is. He was a very religious man. He went to church every Sunday. He went to the church and prayed when he was sick. He was a big believer in God. And he made me a believer in God. So, you know. Well, Monique, it's lots of things that I can say that he did this and did that. Um, I just felt like as his son, he should have supported me a little bit more, like when I wanted my business and stuff. But he was so paranoid. But I proved him wrong, and I know he's happy. I know he's like happy for me, and I know he loves me, and I know I'm his like go-to guy. And in the end, like the last like 2 years, like he saw what I was really capable of doing. He saw how hard I worked. He saw what I did at this house. Like when he saw what I did and how I was and how everybody said, yeah, like all his grandchildren were like, Uncle Mark did this, Uncle Mark did that. He'll be like, Okay, yeah, it looks nice, looks nice. And my mom would always say, "Oh yeah, I'm so proud of you," but he would never really say shit like that. He was a quiet, like type of non-emotional person. Like he was one of those people that didn't want to praise you too much. Like he was just like, yeah, whatever. He was different, but I never really like cared to be like, you know. You guys got the ads coming up. Hold on a sec. And maybe I can take them off. Give me a sec. I'll turn them off because I'm not like doing readings or anything. I'm just here talking. I turned the ads off, guys. Sorry I didn't take it off. I thought I had turned them off, but it's like automatic. It's so fucking annoying. I turned them off, so you ain't gotta worry about it. Oh, your Claudia, your dad's oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, my dad was is 82. So, yeah, just cherish every moment with him, that's all. I mean, at the end of the day, I felt like I was the best son in the world to him, which I know he knows, and he definitely he has two sons. One's a deadbeat, and one's me. And you know, at the end of the day, even my neighbor that's known me all my life, she came over to me and she goes, "You're the best son, father can ask for." And I was like, "Thank you, I appreciate it," because she saw me do all the work around the house. Yeah, I ate a burger just now with some chips and I ate breakfast. I haven't eaten any dinner yet because I just literally ate like 2 hours ago. I might just have like a snack or something later. Maybe it's 7 o'clock here. But yesterday I ate breakfast and lunch, and today I ate breakfast and lunch, but not dinner. But I might have a little something. But my mom, I think she said she had some biscuits and tea. But I told my brother, man, my brother took her home. And I told my brother, please make sure she eats and drinks some water. He's like, yeah, 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 I'll hook her up. I'll hook her up. I was like, all right, fucking better. Claudia said you need to upgrade to YouTube Premium. I feel like my mom, she still remember my older sister when she visited in the care home. Yeah. Well, my dad definitely had, his brain and he didn't have dementia. At some point in time, at some points, like he was like he would go like a little delusional here and there, but he would be all right. I think it was because of the medicine and stuff. Like when he went into the hospital in April, he was really bad. I actually thought he was gonna pass away back in April at the hospital. I was really worried about him. I was like, "Oh fuck, he's gonna die." Like so in April, uh, I'll never forget the priest came there, Filipino guy. What's his name again? Father Vivian. Yeah. He came there and he blessed my dad. He blessed me and my mom, and 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 he got better, and he's actually gonna do the funeral for my dad. He's a nice guy. Barb, she has a lot of she has a lot of support, and my brother literally like lives 2 minutes away, so he's been with her a lot and checking up on her like always. And we gave her my dad's cell phone because she lost power today during the storm, And thank God that she had the cell phone, and my brother showed her how to use it. And now she's got the cell phone. So whenever she leaves home, she has the cell phone. And my neighbor, she called us and said, please give your mom my phone number or give me her phone number. So if she needs me, she's a widow as well. She lost her husband this year too. It's crazy. My dad and this guy, we've been neighbors for like years, right? And he passed away from diabetes, and my dad passed away yesterday, and like they both passed away the same year. That's so crazy. Like, so at least he's with his neighbor too. You know, my dad liked him and he liked my dad. We're very close neighbors. And she called us today and said, if you guys need anything, please let us know. Because they just went through a death, you know. So my mom has a lot of support. She has my neighbor there. And my neighbor's like 10 years younger than her. She's like 72. My mom's 79 and she's like 72. So not 10 years, my bad. But yeah, she's a couple years younger, so and she's like a lot better than how my mom is. So but these are the beginning stages, it's gonna be tough for my mom, but she'll be all right. She's tough, man. I just worry about her because she like, it's so fresh in her mind, and she says the house isn't like it's nothing without my dad, obviously. She said she feels empty. It's not good. But tomorrow, I usually go there every Sunday. So I'm going to go down there tomorrow morning, and I'm going to make sure she eats and she drinks, and I'm going to make sure she has everything she needs so she doesn't even think about going anywhere. I want her to stay home and like be okay. Like, and I'm going to make sure like I do the things I need to do to help her tomorrow. I'm going to go spend a good bit of time with her tomorrow. Tomorrow I have no sports to watch or nothing to do, so I'll go down there like I always do, and I'm gonna show her how to use the TV properly and stuff. And then I'm gonna make sure like the cell phone's charged up and make sure all the bills get paid and everything else. So I'll be there tomorrow with her. I'll bring my healing energy and help her as much as I can. Did they win that? I'll root for them. Okay, good. You just had lunch with the girls from high school. One just lost her husband about 6 months. Yeah. Oh, nice. So, like, what did they go to the next round or like I don't even know. That's why I'm asking 'cause I haven't seen anything really. Like, what is the series like 3-2, 1-3-1, something like that? But yeah, it should be fun. My mom's tough. My dad's tough. My mom's tough. I just worry about my mom. That's all. Right now, she doesn't look good at all. Oh, so they beat Toronto. That's pretty good. Toronto was on a roll. They slapped the shit out of the Yankees. Oh, I mean, you play Toronto tomorrow. So you won your series, and now you're going to play Toronto tomorrow. Okay, I get it now. So game one is tomorrow. Blue Jays and the Mariners. That's gonna be a nice game. Yeah, I was like, did you win? Yeah, I know, Barb. I'm gonna be there for her. Today she was with all of us today for a long time. So, as you know, you've been through it too. Everybody goes through it, and people die, like they take a while to get their appetite back and their sleep patterns, and you know. Hey, Becca, how you doing, sweet? Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. You know me. I'm preaching on here every day that when people die, don't worry, they're with you in spirit. You guys can talk to them anytime you want. I'm like a broken record saying that shit. So I always tell people, whoever passes away, they're always with you. So now I gotta take my own words. What's up, Mike? How you doing, bro? Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thanks. Yeah, my dad, he died of a heart attack yesterday. My mom said he was perfectly fine, and he just like started wobbling and then poof. And then she told me today that she actually caught him and like rested him down on the ground. And then she says he was just not responding anymore. And then when I got there, I saw the paramedics. By the time I got there, the paramedics were already trying to revive him. But I kind of knew that he wasn't going to get revived. His heart was already 30%. So for him to get revived, it would have been a miracle. But I'm kind of like, glad he didn't in a way because he's been suffering so much, you know? Like I don't want him to come back and suffer again. I hate that. Well, heart attacks are the most common death in the world, has been for years. Yeah. Oh no. Sorry to hear that. Heart attacks have been going on forever, man. That's why I tell people like you can be fit, you can be fat, skinny. It doesn't matter. Your heart stops, it stops. It doesn't matter. You can be the healthiest person in the world. When that heart says I'm done, I'm done. And that's why that saying exists. You're here today, gone tomorrow. And it happens so fast. My mom said he was getting his pills ready and getting ready to have dinner, and he just like boom, gone. So when I got there, like I said, when I got there, the paramedics were trying to revive him and they weren't successful. But they did try. I was watching them and it hurt to watch, it hurt to see, you know. But at the end of the day, he's no longer in pain and I know I can deal with him every day now if I want to. He's in spirit, he's a part of my team. It's gonna make me an even stronger medium than I am now. So that's how I look at it. Yep. We are lucky to be alive. That's why I preach on here every time that stop complaining about your life and understand that you don't have cancer, you're not dying, you're not 82 years old like my dad and suffering with arthritis and diabetes and heart problems. If you have money in your account, you have a job, you have food on your table, you have a place to live. You're privileged to have that, you know. You got a phone, internet, electricity, you got a place to rest your head. Those are all the essentials of life right now. And if you have that, you should never complain. Because there's so many people who have fucking nothing, and they have bad shit in their life. I'm always grateful for my life, trust me. I always tell everybody that's how I've always been that way. Because I came from nothing, you know? That's why I appreciate life more because I came from shit. I didn't have fucks when I was little. All these young kids, they have everything. I was telling my oldest nephew today, he's 23. He was there writing the stuff for the reader to say in the funeral about my dad. And he was writing it. He was very helpful, and he loves me, right? He's my first nephew, and I said to him, "You're very lucky to have what you have because when I was your age, we didn't have none of that shit, bro. None of that shit you have. We didn't have like cell phones and social media like that and all that shit. We didn't have like those cool things that you guys have. We had bullshit. It was nothing, you know." So, life goes on. Everybody's experienced death, and everybody will experience death throughout their life. And like I say to everybody, death is something that's inevitable and it's guaranteed, and we just have to understand. And now that that person's physically gone, spiritually they're always going to be there now. Hey, Erica, how you doing? So, you know, my other nephew thought that I'll be like really, really upset and crying every day because me and my dad are very close. And I said, bro, why am I gonna cry every day for what? You know? Yeah, you don't understand. Like I have him still. I have him in spirit, and that's something that I believe in every day. So, and I told everybody today in the room because not nobody knows I'm a psychic in my family. Nobody knows that I do mediumship and stuff except for my sister, my two nephews that live with me. But my other nephews don't know anything about me like that. I keep my life very private. So I said in front of everybody today, I said, you guys got to stop worrying about his carcass, like his body and being in that coffin. And that's not him anymore. He's now a free spirit. He's with us probably right here, right now. Or, he's going to be with you all the time now. I know where he's going to be every weekend. He'll be here watching games with me, just like my uncle does. So it's all good. And and I said to everybody, don't you pray to God every day? Don't you pray to God? God's a spirit. So now your dad's a spirit. It's simple. You go from physical to spiritual. And that's the forever part. And they're just sitting there waiting for you to come through next or whenever you do. But in the meantime, they got a lot of catching up to do. My dad knew a lot of people. My dad knew a lot of people. After all, he's 82 years old, so he knew a lot of people. And he was very well known here. So he's gonna see all his friends. His best friends are in spirit and have been there for a long time. He gets to see his mom, his dad. His dad's been gone for almost 50 years. His dad died when he was 32. See what I mean? So my dad died yesterday. I'm 48. So I'm happy to see. I never saw my grandfathers. Never saw my grandfathers. Never went, never saw them, never dealt with them. I only dealt with my grandmas. That's it. That's why I told my nephews, you guys are lucky. You saw both of your grandfathers. You guys see your grandfathers of you get to see your grandfather. But you know, that's why people don't. A lot of people used to come in here, and still people came to today and said, "Oh, Mark, I don't have my parents anymore. You're so lucky to have yours. Cherish every moment." And I did. You know, I see my parents all the time. I'm the only child that they have that went to see them every single week, and I saw them. I spoke to them almost every day on the phone, literally. If they didn't call me, I would call them to always check up on them. Say, hey, you guys need anything? I'm at this warehouse. You want water? You want this? You want that? Oh, is the grass big? I'm gonna cut the grass. You need anything? I'm at the shop now. oh, hey, look, Sunday, don't buy nothing. I'm gonna bring some fish down there. Or, we're gonna go to brunch this week. I would talk to him like pretty much every day. Thanks, Erica. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I know my dad. See, I know my dad. He's gonna be around me a lot, cause I'm his fave. You know, I said that. Today. I I said I was his favorite. He was with me all the time, and I was with him. I took him to all his doctor's appointments. I took him to get his hair cut. I took him anywhere he needed to go. I took him. The other day, I took him to the garage to get the car tuned up. Monday, I got to take the car to go get fixed because this lady hit it. So Monday, I have to meet my brother there, and then I'm gonna have to pick him up and take him home, and then leave the car there for the day so they can fix it. Um, my mom doesn't drive the car, but my brother, he doesn't have a car right now, so he's gonna end up using the car. And I said, if you're gonna use this car, I told him to his face, if you're gonna use the car, you need to help mom. You need to come here every fucking day, and you make sure she has like everything she needs. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, you better. I'll fucking slap the shit out of you. Because we all need to come together now. It's not about me all the time. I have my own life, and I've done my share, and I'm gonna still help, obviously. But everybody needs to step up. Because my mom needs us more now than ever. And I really don't want to fuck off my siblings and tell them about themselves. But and now they know, like they see my mom. So I'm gonna try and bring her up the house as much as I can too. I don't want her to be alone at home because that makes she's gonna go crazy. So if I take her away from home and then bring her here and like get her active, like she likes to iron clothes, I'm gonna get her to like iron some of my shirts and I'll talk to her, keep her busy and keep her occupied. I'll put her to work. Then she can teach me how to like make some other food that I want to make, and we'll start making stuff. And I'm gonna try and keep her very busy the next couple of days. I'm not gonna work for anybody for the next couple of weeks. So I'm gonna take some time off so I can help my mom. I'm the most flexible person that's in the family right now. Everybody needs their job and their shit. Me, I can do whatever I want. So I can always come here and still work and stuff like that eventually, but I need to help her out right now. She's a mess. She's not doing good at all. But today she at least like, was talking a lot more, and when she got up, you could see she's very weak, frail. She didn't get no sleep. She looks like a zombie right now, so hopefully she gets a lot more sleep tonight. But I don't even want to call her or anything because I don't want her to get up and then go to the phone every 5 minutes and shit. I'm sure people are calling her nonstop, and so tomorrow I'm gonna spend like the whole day with her if I can. I'm gonna try and spend as much time as I can with her tomorrow. Make sure she's okay. We're gonna be all right. I have faith everything is gonna be all right. The funeral is on Friday, so once Friday is gone, the funeral is at 2 o'clock. So like by 4:30, we should be all home, or before then. Everything should be over and done with. We're not gonna have no after party shit. I don't want nobody around here anyway. We just make sure my mom's okay. I'll probably bring her back here after the funeral so she doesn't have to go home right away. And then next weekend, I'm gonna make sure I hang out with her and make sure she's okay. But my sisters and we're all off all week today. All week. All right. My sister is not work. Both my sisters aren't working this week because of the funeral, getting prepared for it, and my brother's not working either. So and neither am I. So we're all gonna be together every day. So she'll be all right. She's gonna have all of us all week. The good thing is my brother lives right next to her, so if she needs anything, my brother will get it for her. Even though he's a dickhead, but he lives literally right next to her, like 2 minutes. So it's good. I'm glad he's stepping up and helping her. Miss Diamond, you all right? Hmm? Wondering what's going on, huh? She's like, why is it so quiet around here? Like, why is it so quiet? Mark usually loud and talking shit. Can you see a pic of him? Let me see. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's me and my dad right there. That was on like a boat. We were sitting next to each other on a boat. That was a couple years ago. Yeah, that's me without a beard, yeah. My dad never wore a beard either. That's my mom. And this is my dad. This is my dad like back in June. That's when he had his cane. Yeah, she's 79. She goes 80 in January. This was in the end of June, this picture. Yeah, yeah. They their faces weren't old, but they're feeling their blues, like, you know. Like they don't smoke and drink. See, that's why they don't look like shit. When you smoke and drink, you look different. But yeah. My older sister didn't even have any pictures of my mom and dad on her phone. She's such a joke. And neither did my brother. My brother and my sister didn't have no pictures of my mom and dad on their phone. Just me and my youngest sister had pictures of my parents. And then they want to sit there and act like they know all this shit about my parents. No, we're Portuguese. No. We're all Portuguese. My mom and dad were born in an island called the Azores off of Portugal. Portuguese, you know, Portuguese. Yeah, they were born in an island called the Azores, and they came to Bermuda. My dad came to Bermuda when he was 18, so my dad's been here for 60 plus years. And my his father, which is my grandfather, he was here for a long time. Like my family's been in Bermuda for 100 years at least. My uncles have worked here. My mom and dad's been here for like years, and my grandfather came here like 100 years ago. Both of my grandfathers came here back 100 years ago. They from 100 years till now. Well, Portuguese people have been here for 125 years, but the last 100 years, my family's been here. I have a little bit of each. I have my dad's nose, and I have my mom's eyes. I look like both of them, to be honest. I have a little bit of each. We all have like our dad's nose, and we have like I have my mom's eyes. Now my two sisters, they have my dad's more of my dad's features. Me and my brother have my mom's eyes, and my sisters have my dad's eyes, and we all have like my dad's nose. But we all I have a little bit of each. Yeah, yeah. I look more like my mom. Yeah, I look more like my mom for sure. My oldest sister, she looks just like my dad. The same like uh look, the same like everything. She has my mom's nose, but she has my dad's eyes and like mouth and like everything. You look at him, you're like, holy shit. Yeah, I look more like my mom. My uncle Manuel that died last year, like he looks like my mom a bit. Like him and my mom look close. But yeah, like people say, we're stamped. We look like our mom and dad. You can tell we're their children for sure. But it's all good. I'm just glad that we all came together today and talked and talked it over, and we're all adults. We all can, even though we don't really get along with each other too much. Um, my sister was happy that I went because I weren't even gonna go. I don't really want to see my other siblings and talk to them. And they don't really they know that I was close. Me and my dad were the closest. My mom is my I'm very close with my mom and my dad. Like I'm probably the closest out of everyone to my parents. So um they can't say anything to me about my dad because I know everything about him. And I spoke to him the most. I was with him the most. um you know I'm the only one that went to the house like every single day at one point. and I'm the only one who really goes there every week. My older sister, she doesn't visit my parents. She probably takes like months to see my parents. She don't care. My older sister is such a dumb bitch that she had my dad's birthday card and never gave it to him. His birthday was on September 23rd, and she hasn't seen him not even before that. And then she's there like on our couch today, blah 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 blah. And I told my younger sister, I said, "See, this is guilt because she hasn't seen dad forever, and then she wants to sit on our couch and act like she knows everything." I wanted to fucking slap the shit out of her, but anyway, sometimes you just gotta keep quiet, you know. Sometimes you just gotta keep quiet and just say, let people talk and let them sound dumb. And that's what I did. Barbie, you look like your mom, and you have your dad. Yeah, yeah, same here. Monique, you said you're looking more and more like your mom as I age, and I don't like it. Oh man. Yeah, she is. My parents are good parents, even though they gave me a hard time, even though they're a pain in my fucking ass. And there's some days where I wish they weren't here sometimes because they're fucking annoying, man. Like they got so annoying to me at some point, like they depend on me too much, and then like they were taken from my own life. Like I couldn't do anything. They depended on me too much, and I got kind of irritated because it's always me, 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 right? So it got to a point where like I didn't even want to deal with them anymore because they would it's like they weren't taking advantage of me. It was just like it's too much, like like you have three other kids, like go fucking irritate them. Or like then I started complaining. I was like, you guys need to help, man. I can't do everything. And then after that, and things got a little better, and like I said, there were some days where I was like saying to myself, when they leave this earth, I'm gonna be like relieved. I used to say it because I was mad, right? And I shouldn't have said shit like that, but it was just because out of anger, because I got sick and tired of like being the only one to deal with them. And then then I just, said fuck it, like just help them and just don't worry about it. Like, they want you to help. They don't want the other ones to help. They want you to help. So, I just, swallowed my pride and made sure like I helped them because I knew they need me. So, and then I was like, you know what? Just shut up, Mark, and help them. Like, God's gonna take care of you. Help your parents. And that's it. Um, Let me catch up with you guys. See, your dad was from the Azores. I was looking it up. It's a beautiful place. Have I been there? Yeah, I've been there like 4 times. I've been there like 4 or 5 times. I've been to actual Portugal, the continent, twice. I've been to all the islands, and I've been to the Azores like 4 times. You guys are something else. But yeah, I've been there, Joey, a few times. It's a beautiful place. It's like a big Bermuda. That's what it reminds me of. It's like a big ass Bermuda. It's an island. It's beautiful. It's way bigger than Bermuda. But my dad never wanted to go back there. When my dad's dad died, it changed his life a lot because his dad died when he was young. See, So my dad's been through a lot of deaths too. My mom definitely has. My mom's lost her whole family in and my mom has lost her whole family, like siblings and everybody. Like she had four siblings. She had a brother and three sisters, and all of them died within like a 7 year period, one right after the other. It's fucking crazy. Two of her sisters died in the same month in the same year, and then 2 years later, her other sister died, and then 2 years after that, her brother died. So within like a 7 year period, or six or whatever it is, like they all died. And now this year it was my dad. Hey Sophie, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Well, I always hear you guys talk about it because I don't know what it's like until now. So I'm now in the category of one parent left, and I saw all my aunties and uncles die in the past few years, so it's been tough. Now all I have is my mom, or her, my uncle here, my dad has a brother here, and he's not taking it too well either, but they weren't that close, but they're still cool, whatever. But my dad has his brother left here. He's like 70 something years old. I think he's like 74. I just spoke to him just the other day. Um, but yeah, he's still alive, and it's my mom. So my mom and my uncle are the only family left out of a big ass family. So it's not good. Death is something that we have to deal with. It's inevitable. I still have my mom, my sisters, and my brother, um, my nephews. So I'm happy I have my family. My dad obviously is going to be severely missed, but like I said, I feel a lot different because I can talk to him in spirit, so it's not a big deal for me too much. Obviously it's annoying because I'm not gonna be able to talk to him like in physical form, but I could talk to him in spiritual form. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Um, Monique, your brother was murdered. He came to see me 3 days after that. Yeah, don't be scared. You can talk to him. You know, you can talk to him anytime you want. I'm not scared to talk to spirit. It's a natural thing for me. So talking to my dad yesterday when he passed away, I spoke to him right away. He came to me and said a few words, and that was it. And I'm sure I'm gonna speak to him every weekend when we watch football together. When I'm watching my team, I'll be talking to him, and in spirit, we'll be watching the game together. I'm gonna invite him over, and hopefully he comes and chills out with us. But I told him that I want him to be with my mom as much as he can and make sure she's okay at home. My mom's like very stubborn. She doesn't want any of us to sleep there and take care of her. She doesn't like to be babied and all that shit. She's like, I'm fine. She's like, oh, she's a Capricorn, ignorant, you know, woman. And she doesn't want us to like baby her or like be around her 24/7. She doesn't like anybody all up on her shit like all that. She likes to be, you know, even when she's at home with my dad, she'll go in her bedroom while he's watching TV, and she doesn't. She likes her own time. You know. Okay, cool, money. Yeah. But I remember like for years that I've been on here, a lot of people have come in here and said, "Hey, look, I lost this, I lost that. This person's gone, that person's gone." And I just say, "Well, I don't know what that's like, and when I do find out, I'll know, I'll feel your pain. But at the end of the day, I want everybody to know that they're now a spirit that you can deal with. You can still talk to them, and they'll listen and they hear you. I know that for a fact." So I'm not really, you know, super sad. Just probably super sad for my mom because she's going to be in that house by herself now. And if we tell her, look, we're going to come there and, sleep in the other bedroom, make sure she'll be like, no, don't you dare. I don't need nobody. She's like very, very independent. And I knew how she is. Like if I called her and said, I'm going to come spend the night there, no, don't you dare come here. I'm fine. She's very like weird like that. But I just respect her wishes. Like if she doesn't want anybody around, then she's one of those people that she don't want people around her house. She wants to be alone, and she wants to like be away from people. But she's gonna be. I'm gonna go spend some time with her tomorrow. She'll be fine. Okay, Joey. I don't know. I might hang around tonight. I like coming on here and just talking to everybody because I know a lot of people in here is in the same situation. I know people in here who don't have their parents anymore. I know people who still there's probably hardly anybody in here who have their parents. I know everybody in here probably have lost their one of their parents at least, or they've lost someone very significant. Okay, Joey, take care. So I don't mind coming on here and talking about it. I'm not gonna get all emotional and start crying and shit. But I'm not that type of person. But if I do, I do. You know. Yeah, right. Not today because it's like a tropical storm coming across here right now. It's very windy and rainy today. It's fucking bullshit. I'd have to sleep in the car. Nah, but she's all right. My brother lives right next door to her, so he can deal with her. He needs to deal with my mom because they barely do anything. See, that's why my mom hasn't called me. I spoke to her today. Obviously, I sat next to her today when we were talking about everything. You know, my nephew's calling me talking about what we're having for dinner. This guy's funny. Oh, okay, I see what you mean, Monique. I don't know. I don't know what to eat for dinner. I have no idea. He's like, I'm hungry, bro. What are you gonna make? I'm like, I don't even know, man. Oh Lord. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. My nephew wants to have dinner, and I should eat because even though I ate like one hamburger like 4 hours ago, I should eat again because I haven't really eaten that much. I should eat more because my stomach is kind of growling, but I don't know. I just gotta get it out of my head to just eat and drink and make sure I keep myself, you know, get food in my system and water. So my nephew says he's hungry and his mother's blabbing on the phone. So he wants me to like, go with him and get dinner or make dinner or something. I keep forgetting today is Saturday, man. Yeah, that's what I need, Barb. I really need a good meal and some good sleep. I might come back on later because I really enjoy talking to you guys, and I don't want to like, you know, lay down and just think about shit all day. So I like being on here talking to you guys. So keeps my mind off of all this shit. So I might come back later on. If I don't, you know that I fell asleep. But I'll be here like tomorrow and every day. I'll keep you guys posted about what's happening. Yeah, I know. I appreciate that, Monique. Barb, take care, sweetheart. And I'll be back. I might come back later. I might come back later. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love you guys. Thanks.